The death of Cartoon Network, man. I'm telling y'all, bro. The younger generations, bro. They'll never experience the peakness of this, man. They'll never experience the peakness of... Look at all these characters, bro. Look at all these iconic characters. I'm gonna make sure my kids is good, though, bro. On everything, I'm playing them old Cartoon Network shows, old Nickelodeon shows. I'm playing them all that. I'm playing them all that, bro. All of that. And they better be interested. Yo, I definitely looked at the new Cartoon Network shows, and I was shocked at how much I didn't know. Like, bro. Have y'all seen the new shows? Like, bro, what are some of these shows, bro? Is this wearing a do-rag? To the rescue? What is going on here, bro? Let's go ahead and see this.
Let me ask you something. When was the last time you heard any good news relating to Cartoon Network, or more specifically, Warner Brothers?
Yo, y'all remember when they said it was gonna shut down? Cartoon Network never shut down, right? There was like a rumor this year. The game one? Wait, there's no games on it? No, bruh. Bro, the Cartoon Network games were so peak. That was a fun internet era. Fusion Fall? I forgot about this, bruh. God damn. I used to play this one regular show game like all the time.
Scratch that, actually. Streaming in general. It feels like every other day some new catastrophic event happens that stirs everyone into a frenzy. Whether that's beloved and successful shows being canned or removed from streaming with no legal way to watch them, shows being canned before they're even given a chance, movies and TV shows being used for...
Did that just say canceled season 1? How do they even greenlit a show that got canceled in 1 season? Don't they have to like go through a pilot, see if it's good, see if it'll work with people or whatever? God damn, bro. That's all the budget down the drain.
Before they're even given a chance, movies and TV shows being used for tax write-offs mid...
Oh my god, I heard of this, bro. They were gonna release the Coyote versus... And they didn't release it, bro. Why didn't they release it? This actually made me so mad. They used it as a tax write-off. Y'all are a multi-billion-dollar company. You do not need another, you do not need a little, okay, not little, but like $30 million. But like, you do not need no $30 million tax write-off, bro. Just release the movie.
Shows being used for tax write-offs mid-production, or sometimes when they're close to being finished, leading to them never seeing the light of day and everyone...
Okay, whoa. She was bad, so this is a problem. What was this called? Batgirl? Who's the actress for Batgirl? But whoever it is, I don't know, but I need her, bro. Alright, here we go with this bullshit, bro. Here we go with this bullshit, bro. She is not, wait. Batgirl show. First off, this is a grown-ass woman. That's number one. The woman in this picture is like 30. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the, I don't know, the character or whatever from whatever comic y'all are talking about. Chill out. Yo, my heart low-key sucking my ass. But the actress or whatever is like 30.
One's time being wasted. Yap. It's a dark time. And above all, the medium that is getting hit the hardest by all of this, I'm gonna go with malarkey, it sounds funny, is animation. Animation has never really been treated well by corporations for... well, ever.
Yeah, that's true.
Overworking anime.
Facts, bro. It's crazy that, like, if these animators go on strike, aren't these companies like, what is the business owner gonna do? Like, some other companies that might be able to find some other people. I guess for animators they could. But, like, bro. What is the boss gonna do? Go in and be like, you know what? You guys are going on strike? I'll draw it myself. I'll animate it myself. Start writing it? Dude, you can't. It's so sad that animators get paid the least, bro. And then people, these are things people watch the most.
Animators to the brink of death and being rewarded with enough money to put Skittles and ice soup on the table for a week. But things are incredibly dire nowadays. And you'd think after animation basically carried the industry out of bankruptcy during the pandemic that things would start looking up. However, that's a hopeful outcome. A word in Hollywood means about as little as the word consent. Alright, I think we can save the corporate stuff for later. So, Cartoon Network. It's in a bit of a state right now, I won't lie. All of you watching know what Cartoon Network is, and you likely have a favorite Cartoon Network show you used to watch as a kid or still watch today as an adult. It's a network that many have very fond memories of, and back in the day, it was arguably the best channel out of the big three of
Easily.
itself.
Does anybody think Nickelodeon or Disney was better? Like Disney Channel?
Channel/XD and Nickelodeon, especially as Disney and Nick began airing more live-action programming. Cartoon Network has a massive library.
But I feel like every channel is meant for something. Like Nickelodeon had more of the iCarly's, Victorious, whatever, this and that. Like it was just meant for the IRL stuff. Like it was better at that. Cartoon Network tried it and it just wasn't good. So, but Cartoon Network just overall had the better shows. I would say I liked growing up. But yeah, they all had like their different type of mainstay and things they did. And Disney was like a mix of both.
Iconic and beloved cartoons, and
Nickelodeon,
also Lego
SpongeBob.
Chima. And throughout its numerous eras over its 31-year history, it has maintained its reputation as the go-to cartoon channel for all ages. Something that for the past couple of years has unfortunately began to wither. I don't think it's a stretch to say that Cartoon Network has been on a steep decline as of recently. Not just the channel itself, naturally with streaming getting bigger, the channel itself would suffer, but the brand in general. There's a lot of reasons for this, and before you get all uppity in the comment section, it's not because, grah, cartoons were better when I was a kid. It's far more complex than that. If the network was failing because of the quality of its cartoons, then Teen Titans Go wouldn't still be standing after 11 years. It feels like for the past couple of years, Warner Brothers have been determined to kill basically every aspect of CN's brand, and it can only be described as a slow and painful death. Cartoon Network may not be literally dead, but figuratively, it's been cooked for a while. And with the recent removal of multiple of CN's
What? They removed Chowder, Regular Show, Amazing World of Gumball, We Bare Bears, Steven Universe. That's the thing about bro, I hate streaming services, bro. Streaming services, I'm saying it right now. Streaming services now are worse than how cable was. Bro, you literally have to get like 50 subscriptions to watch all your TV shows and movies. Like, there'll be literally some movies that will open on this random, like, it'll debut on this random platform that nobody's ever heard of because the people decided to buy it.
And heavy hitters from streaming for a reason that can be summed up as David Zaslav taking his hands off his cock to start shrugging at the camera. Now seems like a pretty good time to talk about the decline of Cartoon Network. This is not going to be as long or high energy as my previous decline videos.
Damn.
I just really like the title.
Ace porn views, though.
Leave me alone.
Lack of new IPs and original programming.
For many years, Cartoon Network was renowned for its diverse and quality lineup of cartoons, many of which have stood the test of time and are still popular among kids and adults to this day. No matter what era—
Nah, it's the fact that Amazing World of Gumball, Regular Show, and Adventure Time all came out at the same time. Bro, those are all peak shows. Gen Z was like the last wave to get like good Cartoon Network shows and shit. All of those shows airing together, like you could be like, bro, you were a kid and you were like, what I want to watch, man? All right, I want to watch Adventure Time today. I want to see, you know, them goofing off and doing whatever in the land of ooh. Do I want to see Mordecai and Rigby turning the most insane normal situation into an insane situation? Or do I want to see Amazing World of Gumball and them two just goofing off? Like, they were all duos too. They were all duos.
Of the channel, there was always a good number of shows airing that were iconic for their own reasons and helped to strengthen the network's brand and popularity. Love them or hate them, it
Nick
cannot
don't
be
got shit
denied
no
that the
more, even
majority of Cartoon
SpongeBob's
Network's
mid.
programming left their mark and are still popular today. The current era of Cartoon Network is f***ing boring, and it's not necessarily because of the quality of what's here. I mean, you can go on your 40th rant about why Teen Titans Go is the worst thing ever and killed your dog.
Yeah, no, everybody does complain about Teen Titans Go. Teen Titans Go has some funny moments. Like, I'll see some funny ass clips from TikTok, but then, regardless, I still do think Teen Titans Go was the start of the downfall of Cartoon Network. 100%. I was still watching though.
But compared to every other era of the network, this one is just lacking in any standout cartoons. Look back to previous eras of the network. The dawn of time, you had Dexter's Lab, Powerpuff Girls, Johnny Bravo,
peak.
Courage, Ed, Edd and Eddy, Kids Next Door, Billy and Mandy. Mid-2000s, you got Samurai Jack, Foster's Home, Ben 10, Chowder,
Oh my
Flapjack.
god, bro,
2010s,
I'm about to
good
cry.
God, I will not understand people who hate on 2010's Cartoon Network. You had Adventure Time, Regular Show, Gumball, We Bare Bears, Steven Universe, Over the Garden Wall. Does that count?
Like, you couldn't even hate on these shows, bro. Even if you were older and grew up in the 90s. Like, even they were watching these shows because they were good.
Infinity Train, OKKO. Admittedly, I'm just listing most of the ones that come to mind for me personally, and obviously not everyone likes these shows equally, and yes, each era had its low points. But the point is that—
Don't bring up Johnny Test, bro. Don't hate on my man's Johnny. It did have like a whip sound effect like every 0.2 seconds. But like, no, Johnny Test was brain rot. Oh god, it was brain rot. How many sound effects are in one scene in Johnny Test? This was brain rot.
What started the great pork?
Bro, we're 10 seconds in. It's 8 sound effects. We're 10 seconds in. Bro, I can't. That's basically a sound effect every 1.5 seconds.
its low points. But the point is that no matter the era, there was always stuff to watch. Stuff that left an impact. Stuff that immediately came to mind when you thought of Cartoon
And the
Network.
regular show may be potentially coming back. I just hope they don't botch it. Just don't botch it.
Airs on Cartoon Network today, not counting
gonna
Adult
sell?
Swim. I mean, Teen Titans Go really isn't that bad, especially now, but we're not having that discussion today. Craig of the Creek is pretty good and about to end, never mind. Fiona and Cake is amazing, but didn't air on the network itself, so that doesn't count. Jellystone is fine.
I've never
There's
seen
a
that.
baby show about We Bare Bears. I thought that fad died in the 2000s. Tiny Toons and Total Drama got revivals that I've heard
Nah, baby shows are never good. They gotta stop making those.
no one talk about. Is that really it? I mean, there's some—
I'm not gonna lie, a Total Drama Island for Gen Z would be pretty funny. Have they made one yet? Is this the newest season? Like them going on IG or going on TikTok? Oh, they did? Oh, okay, I just didn't see it then. I actually might watch that.
drama got revivals that I've heard no one talk about. is that really it? I mean, there's some other shows that have either aired on the network itself, X, not for long anyway.
I thought I was gonna get
I've heard anyone
go
talk
fuck
about
yourself
these ever. Either the marketing is just that bad, or there's really
what is
nothing
this
here that's grabbing people's attention. There's really not much here. I mean, Craig of the Creek is a leftover from the 2010s, and it's the best show in the current lineup, and that's ending soon. Where are the shows? There is nothing here. It's not like what's here.
I think they just don't got the budget.
It's just that barely any of it stands out. There's no variety, no diverse lineup of shows that have their own strengths and aspects that set them apart. And to make this worse, I think we're about to enter an era that just lacks any original programming. Recently, there were a ton of Cartoon Network announcements about revivals of their previous shows. Not reboots, full-on revivals continuing what was already there. Now, stuff like Gumball coming back was just kind of expected because Gumball hasn't really been over. It aired its final episode a while back, but it ended on a cliffhanger that was going to be followed up by the movie. But given a new season is growing closer and we have no word on the movie at all, I don't think it's coming out.
Gumball could go forever. It could go for like 20 seasons because there's not really like a plot like that. I know the plot with the dude that like that's like Gumball's arch enemy or something with the fucked up face, but
anytime soon.
It can really go
Gumball
forever.
Being brought back is fine, and I don't think anyone is against having more Gumball in their lives. The other announcement though threw me off. A cliff. Regular show is getting a revival.
Yeah,
and my God,
that seems kind of weird to me because the way it ended off like it was over. Like, they had the whole plot or whatever with them going into space and then coming back and then, you know, the park, yada yada, everything. Like, the ending was... I still don't like how we ended up, who we ended up with, that random-ass lady. That was kind of like a random, like, just whatever. But yeah, this was very weird.
The alarm bells start ringing with this one. Not that I doubt it'll be good. I'm sure they'll find some way to make it work, but not only did regular show end 7 years ago, but it ended perfectly. Even if
it was
the
a
final
perfect
season
ending
itself wasn't that great. And this isn't the only IP that CN is bringing back from the dead, because they also have Craig McCracken on board to do his own Powerpuff Girls revival after the 2016 reboot kind of existed. And there's a new Foster's Home show too that's going to be aimed at preschool.
What am I looking at? Foster's Fun Time for Imaginary... You know, sometimes we just gotta realize we're not kids anymore, y'all. You know what? Let the kids enjoy this one, man.
Schoolers, I mean, okay, if that's what you want to do with Foster's, then sure. But do you guys see the problem here? The complete lack of original programming as is bad enough, but having to rely on previously established shows that ended years ago comes off as nothing more than desperate. I wouldn't mind this as much if we still had new and interesting shows coming out, but there's literally nothing. And who's to say it's gonna stop at just these shows? Any day now they could announce a new revival for anything at this point, so long as it makes them money. Now, is this a big problem for me personally? No, contrary to what some of you may think, I don't spend most of my time watching cartoons as much as I have a passion for animation. By the way, please watch Dan Da Dan, I've read the manga, it's really good. But it's sad to watch one of my favorite childhood channels crumble like this, and it makes me upset knowing that kids today aren't gonna get a similar lineup of bangers and new originals that kept me hooked as a kid. And that also sucks for adults too, because many of the best Cartoon Network shows have that multi-generational appeal and can be enjoyed by all ages. And I'm sick of living in a world where new ideas just aren't given a chance and companies just recycle the same IPs over and over again. I have no doubt that—
Bro, that's basically the problem with like every industry, even especially music nowadays. Companies are not given, like, they don't give a chance for new stuff. Like, they just want something that guarantees profit. But they gotta realize that you're way more likely to become like way more profitable if you risk on somebody. Like, it's high risk, high reward. All right, if you risk on somebody that's gonna do really, and they do really good, they do really good. Like, they do really good. Like, all of these shows were kind of risk.
The revivals of Gumball, Regular Show, and even Powerpuff Girls will be good, but the network really needs something new.
Death of the brand.
Beyond the current state of the network itself, it feels like Warner Brothers is doing everything in their power to decrease the presence of Cartoon Network as a brand, despite how big and recognizable it is. It really feels like at every turn for the past couple of years, CN has been getting curb-stomped out of relevancy, and a lot of it is purely cost-cutting reasons. It doesn't take a genius to figure out or even research that Warner Brothers is knee-deep in debt, and David Zaslav's favorite pastime is trying to pull his company out of said debt, which is a Sisyphean task at this point, by being as comically evil
Why don't they just do it like the US government? Realize that they'll never pay it off and just keep adding more debt.
Possible. Well, I know
Rickus, what did you just say?
Studios building in Burbank got shut down. Cost cutting. They don't want to pay for 2 buildings for their 2 animation studios, so they moved Cartoon Network to the Warner Brothers Animation building instead. And while I guess that makes sense as a cost cutting measure, it is a pretty on the nose metaphor for how figuratively dead Cartoon Network is. The original building that produced all of their classic and beloved cartoons is now shut down. A large and recognizable landmark and symbol in the industry just gone. And if you thought that was Jover enough, then let's look at all the other ways Cartoon Network is being completely stripped of its soul just to line Zaslav's pockets. This past summer, the official Cartoon Network website was shut down and now redirects to Max. At least in America anyway. We still have it in the UK, and I think some other regions may have it too. Though
oh, they had the games and everything? Damn. Meme Maker? Oh, they spitting out hot, steamy shit out of these memes. Oh, man. I already know those memes are about to be absolutely terrible.
To be frank, our version is a lot worse than the US version, but this was still a massive blow to the brand. Not only because of how many fond, nostalgic memories many of us have using this website as kids, either during our free time or playing games on it at school, etc., but again because of what it represented. Cartoon Network's soul being scrubbed from existence. I know it may sound off to give a large company a soul, but comparing what we knew of CN to current day Warner Brothers, yeah, no, CN had a soul, alright, at least in comparison to this Joker. Also, as a side tangent, I find it really sad that so many safe online spaces for kids, such as the Cartoon Network website and Club Penguin, are just dropping like flies.
Club Penguin, man. Damn shame. It wouldn't even be the same, though. It wouldn't even be the same. Like, nowadays, bro, these kids is crash outs. Then again, we were crash outs. Bro, like, people was having Club Penguin sex and all that, bro. That was actually a thing. I swear that was a thing, bro. Like, same thing with Roblox, bro. Roblox had e-dating rooms or whatever, like sex rooms. I remember when I was a kid and I was like, what even is that? Like, what is going on? I was genuinely scared.
These were high-quality, kid-friendly spaces that stopped kids from accessing other, more mature parts of the web that they shouldn't be seeing at their age. I don't think it's a strange coincidence that the uptick in children using websites like Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, etc. happened around the same time that these safe spaces started getting shut down. The Cartoon Network website, while a shell of its former self, was one of the last of these websites still standing, and now it's gone. And to my knowledge, I don't think many of the games were archived, and a lot of the website itself is now lost media. It's just really depressing to realize that we're heading towards a reality where kids don't have well-made, fun, and safe corners of the internet to use, and instead they're—
I mean, technically, okay, I know y'all are gonna boo it, but like, wouldn't Fortnite be like an example, or Roblox? I mean, Roblox is still thriving. Yeah, Roblox is still thriving. What? And then again, it is different. No, bro, it's the same. Okay, look, y'all, get rid of the nostalgia for a second. That's the same thing as us, basically, for them. Their thing is like Fortnite or whatever. That's like their safe space and them chatting or whatever, and I guess Discord, that's their thing.
Only alternative is to access sites that they really should not be viewing or interacting with. Yes, YouTube has a kids version, but almost no one uses it, and the content on there is exploitative and deeply unsettling, so kids shouldn't be using it anyway. And now we get to the streaming side of things. Ever since Warner Brothers merged with Discovery and Zaslav entered the picture, CN's been getting brutally backhanded with every move they make. Max, or HBO Max as it used to be known as, was once held in high regard as one of the best streaming services you could subscribe to because of Warner Brothers' extensive catalog of IP, and a big part of that was the sheer number of Cartoon Network shows featured on there. Basically, everything was there from every era of the network. So many high quality and well-regarded cartoons from many people's childhoods, and many that people still enjoy today were all there and accounted for. Then Zaslav took over and things began to change. One by one, Cartoon Network's catalog began to decrease as many shows were removed from Max entirely, and given that some of them don't have many places you can legally purchase them from, this made some shows completely inaccessible for legal means. This practice of removing your own shows from your own streaming service has become a lot more common in recent years, and it's a very hard concept to wrap your head around at first, because why the hell would you even do that? Remove your own content from your own service? It seems completely counterintuitive, like you're just throwing money into a pit of fire, right? Unfortunately, this is just a clever but really scummy way for companies to get away with not paying the people involved with their production any residuals. They just can't be bothered to pay the people that made their hit shows the very small amount.
Oh my god, I didn't even think of that. Nah, because if they're airing the old shows, that means they would have to pay royalties to them like forever, basically. That's so evil. Nah, bro. Nah, could you imagine like YouTube did that? Because every YouTuber gets paid like royalties. Like whenever I get paid, it's literally kind of like, it'll literally just be they'll send me the money, right? And then it'll be like royalties. Imagine YouTube did that with YouTubers. After a certain moment, they're like, damn, we don't want to pay them anymore for the video. We'll just take it down.
Of residuals that they're owed, so they just removed the show entirely. Because of this incredibly greedy practice, it's led to an incredibly grim scenario where many shows are now incredibly hard to watch or straight up impossible to watch for legal means, and the creators of said shows are now publicly advocating for piracy if you're interested in watching them. And if you need another reminder about how grim things are right now, as I said at the start of the video, Max recently removed a ton of Cartoon Network's heavy hitters from their service. This included Chowder, Regular Show, The Amazing World of Gumball, We Bare Bears, and Steven Universe. I don't think I need to explain why this is minor mind-blowing, right? Whether you like these shows or not, it can't be denied that these are some of the most well-regarded and popular shows Cartoon Network have ever produced. Regular Show and Gumball are so popular, in fact, that they announced more episodes were in the f***ing works. Where is the sense in just removing all of this content? Surely paying
my dog GJ Quintel, man. That's how you say his name, I think.
Isn't costing that much. I refuse to believe this practice is getting Warner Brothers anywhere close to clearing the $50 billion of debt they're drowning in. In 2 years, the company's only cleared a fifth of that. By the time they get out of it, there's not going to be any fucking content left. And to add insult to injury, to really hammer in how CN is—
I mean, that is progress, though. I didn't expect them to clear $15 billion. That's surprising. Is it worth it, though? Is it worth it if their whole company is dead after? No, because, like, who's going to care about it? How are they going to have budget to make anything at all if they have to remove every show? Like, what's going to be making them money?
Being deprioritized, Max's brand spotlight places Cartoon
Is it
Network
bad I
around
never
the
watched
middle
regular
to
show?
low
Yes.
end of it. Adult Swim and Boomerang are above it in terms of priority. It's just really sad.
Agreed.
This point extends well beyond Cartoon Network, and it applies to, well, most of the animation industry at this point. Animators and artists who have worked on many of your favorite cartoons are currently unemployed in record numbers, and a big reason for this has been streaming. Not only does streaming allow corporations to see what's popular and chase trends at a much more efficient rate, renewing and cancelling on a whim, this trend chasing completely f***s with animation, given it takes far longer to make than the vast majority of shows. Big name streaming services have already built up massive libraries of content and are overly reliant on established and profitable IP, which also throws a wrench into things given original ideas can barely get off the ground now. And to add further insult to injury, layoffs in the animation industry are rampant right now.
Inside Out 2 was the hit Pixar needed, but the laid off employees who crunched on it are still hurting. They laid off the employees that made the movie. Wait, how can companies do that? How is that possible? What? Nah, they're wildin', bruh. What's up with these industries, yo? What's up with the This is why I always say Hollywood is so evil, bro. I literally could never go Hollywood. Like, it would just be too hard. It's too disgusting, bruh.
Right now, as studios are constantly
Inside
trying to
Out
make
2
their
was like the
finances
last
look
show that
better.
Pixar
As
made that was
previously
good.
mentioned with Warner Brothers and Cartoon Network, this leads to extensive cost-cutting measures from the closing of the original Cartoon Network Studios building, the shutdown of the original website, and a constant removal of classic content from streaming services. All of this is topped off with staff being laid off en masse, and because of the lack of original animated programming being greenlit nowadays, as well as studios continuing to chase trends, there simply aren't enough jobs going around to make animation a sustainable career for most people. Last year, it was reported that around 30% of the Los Angeles animation workforce are unemployed, with that percentage only—
And you know what's crazy? Even if they were employed, they wouldn't be able to afford to live there. Even if they were employed, bro, hey, look, they're not affording to be able to live there.
And continuing to rise as more studios continue to cut costs in the most pathetic and desperate ways imaginable. Ever since the streaming bubble burst, it has spelled doom for the animation industry, as the big corporations get to keep making these decisions to cut costs and play things safe without any devastating or long-term financial consequences. David Zaslav, CEO of Warner Brothers and all-around dickhead, made $50 million last year while his company lost $3 billion. If something about that doesn't add up, that's because Warner Brothers is solely focused on making sure its top executives and the CEO reap all the benefits of this destructive rampage they're on, while everyone else has to deal with their projects being shit-canned on a weekly basis and being left out of a job because, to be frank, there are no fucking jobs. This applies everywhere in animation right now, but in Cartoon Network's case, it especially hurts given just how bad the network and brand have been crippled these past couple of years under Zaslav's leadership. Oh, and this is all without mentioning the fact that working conditions for the animation are still subpar across the board. So even if you do get a job in the industry—
How can the working conditions be that bad? Oh no, they just overworked them. I was about to say like the working conditions bad as in where they work at, like it's dirty or something. It's probably the hours.
It's very likely you'll either be treated like shit, forced to crunch, get paid close to nothing, or all of the above. Remember how big of a success Inside Out 2 was for Pixar this year? Massive crunch time, baby, and many people who slaved away on the movie were laid off before it was released and were unable to receive their bonuses, which many people working at Pixar rely on since Pixar is—
Shouldn't there be a wait. Okay, I'm not gonna blame the employees or whatnot, but like, shouldn't they have checked the contract to make sure they're getting paid by the movie, like the royalties and shit? Shouldn't they have checked that? Cause dude, that's the first thing I'm checking, bro. I'm making sure if I'm animating, I'm like, all right, when this movie releases, I'm getting some of the money from it.
It's not unionized.
It's like when an artist signs to a label.
That people within the industry are louder than ever about securing a new deal for animation. The Animation Guild is still fighting for a new deal, and accounts like Animation Workers United have been helping to spread the word on the trials and tribulations faced by animators right now.
I was about to say, damn, they got an OnlyFans? Yo, the internet is so gooner brain, bro. Every time I see like a link tree in somebody's bio, I'ma think it's OnlyFans from now on. It's crazy, bro. This is what OnlyFans girls have done to society.
You remember that hashtag RIP Cartoon Network short that went viral this summer? Yep, that was them. The most any of us can really do is also be vocal about our love of animation and our desire for a new deal. And to be fair, it does seem like progress is being made, just slowly.
Okay.
But there's likely still a long road ahead of any successful...
You know what? I say good, bro. Let these companies die. Let these dudes die. Let their whole company crumple. Let them look like a dumbass because they didn't want to pay their actual employees the right amount. And then, GG's, man.
And going back to the topic of the video, I think you can see
deserve
why
it.
this has all had a substantial impact on the current state of Cartoon Network. The lack of original programming, the reliance on existing IP, the constant cost-cutting through means of essentially min-maxing the company's finances, which has led to the degradation of the network's brand and the complete and utter termination of its original soul. Make no mistake, while Cartoon Network isn't dead...
Oh my god, this is nostalgia right here. This specific site right here. Oh man, what was going on here? We had Scooby-Doo, Ed, Edd n Eddy, Codenamed Kids Next Door, Foster's Home Imaginary Friends, Teen Titans. This specific site is the one I remember growing up.
Dead on the outside, it's been dead on the inside for a while, and all Warner Brothers continue to do is puppeteer its corpse as it slowly fades away from relevancy. I'm willing to bet that if things keep going in its direction for the next few years or so, Cartoon Network is just gonna cease to exist entirely.
I can see that happening.
Nothing now. I wanted to make this video longer, but I've said basically all I can really say at this point. Cartoon Network is at a very steep and painful decline. I wish I could have made this video more lighthearted, but it's just a sad state of affairs watching a network that was home to many of the shows that shaped who you are and kept you entertained as a kid be reduced to metaphorical rubble. Maybe one day Warner will snap out of it, maybe one day Cartoon Network will be on top of the world once again, who really knows for sure. But before that happens, things need to change within the industry, because the way things are right now is laughably unsustainable. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Actually don't play Yakuza this time, play Judgment. It's basically a Yakuza spin.
W video, man. W video, hey. Bro, if these companies want to die, if these dudes don't want to pay, if they don't want to pay their animators the fair share, GG's. Hey, at least, yeah, listen, I got my childhood, all right? I left scathed finally. Oh, so finally. I'm good, man. I grew up with this shit. I don't got to worry about watching these anymore. But, yeah, if you're watching the 2, make sure to join the Discord and watch the streams.
Subscribe to Tommy NFG.